Alright, so we are on page Lamed, a few lines below the middle of the page. The line begins with Chochmah. And the last statement was that Oir in Soif, which is totally not bederech, begeder, not within realm, to be established in a keli, because it is an oil atzmi, and yet in Chochmah it is mislabish bebchinas pnimius. We discussed yesterday what is the bebchinas pnimius referred to. This is the pardon me, the phenomenal principle of Chochmah. Because bebchinas pnimius means that it can relate to each and every aspect individually. Not in any kind of an overall manner. Like we give an example. That going to work, from an overall perspective, it means to have money. But have money is not a koyach concept. Earn money, make money, this is a koyach concept. Koyach, everything in koyach is that which relates to some kind of an activity of not having and to having. So normally we say that without the nefesh, you're not interested in making money, you're interested in having money. The whole thing of making money is something which is just superimposing. You cannot, it's all a negative, it's a negative force, so to speak. So we say no. Chochmah gives meaning to that activity itself. And the oil is, like I said over here, the oil in Soif, the oil is on nefesh, atzmi is on nefesh. A mislabish Chochmah b'pnimius, and it gives meaning to the koiches element rather than to the atzmi element. And Chochmah is able to transfer that. It's very able to provide that relationship of oiles atzmi to koiches pnimi. And the reason that Chochmah is able to provide it, what is so different in Chochmah Tzakoyach, so that's what we explained. This whole Inyan, the fact that Chochmah has kol hakoyches is a clear indication that Chochmah is focused more and principally on the etzem rather than on its own content. The reason it has all the koiches is because it relates to the etzem, and in order to express the etzem, it has all the koiches. But what is it focused on? Not to the koiches. Look what I'm able to do, but look what my etzem is. That's in the Chochmah. Because it's focused on the etzem, this is why it's able to be mamshech the etzem in all aspects of the Chochmah itself. Because every aspect in Chochmah, the emphasis over there is to demonstrate what the etzem is, not to demonstrate what the koyach is. This is the phenomenal thing. In other words, the beetle of chokhmah is transmitted in every aspect of chokhmah. And this is why the
In every aspect of chokhmah?
all the contents, everything. Chokhmah is a koyach kloli.
What does that?
What does that mean in the mashal? It means in the mashal that really Chokhmah provides a sense in being in the world and making money through activity, maintaining, creating a lived-in world. Not only by having it. This is the difference between Kedusha and Klippa. Klippa is only interested in I have. Kedusha is interested in I make. Because Kedusha is interested in B'mamshech Milmayla. I'm not going there too far, but that's what I want to point out. So, from a Kedusha perspective, this is Chokhmah. It's Chokhmah. Even though you build a home, for example, piecemeal, brick by brick, I don't mean necessarily the physical home, building your family, whatever it is, a yeshiva, and every brick counts, every brick is attended to individually. At the same time, each brick has a sense that this is bringing Kedusha into the world. With every step, being that you're bringing Kedusha into the world by this activity, because with this activity you are doing away with Klippa and you're bringing Kedusha. Therefore, there's significance, full significance in the activity itself. It's an interesting halacha. I'm saying halacha brings everything to life. There's a din, Pesach, you're supposed to be, out of Pesach, you're supposed to clean out chametz. You're supposed to clean out the chametz beforehand. Make sure, why? Because you make sure that there is no chametz on Pesach. But there is the mitzvah the bracha that we make is on bir chametz. And how can you make a bracha bir chametz when 2 weeks earlier you already cleaned out the whole house? You know there is no chametz in the house. And you could say, in a certain sense, we take the candle and we feign as if we're looking for chametz. We know we're not going to find anything. There's nothing to find. As a matter of fact, we put 10 pieces of chametz so that we find something. And you make a bracha. Because the activity to look for chametz is significant. Although it is definitely a derivative of the union that there should not be any chametz. But since that in this world, in order that there should not be any chametz, it is by cleaning it out. So the cleaning it out itself is also a full-fledged, meaningful activity.
Even when there was nothing to find.
Even if there's nothing to find. However, okay, please understand, the din is like this. Mokim she'em machnisim bechometz ein tzorah b'dika. A place where chometz never reaches, you don't have to be boilik. You have to be boilik only a place where chometz does reach. So therefore, that place, how did you get rid of? How come there is no chometz in that? Because there is no chometz. Because he got rid of it. So therefore, the searching is a valid activity. If you're going to search in a place what's ein machnisim bechometz, that's a bracha.
But that final bedika where you said we're feigning as if we're looking.
Final bedika is due to the fact that you already essentially did bedika, did the cleaning. So the bedika is a valid bracha on the whole process of getting rid of the chometz. But the important thing is that, I'm saying, the point when there is getting rid of the chometz. But if you make a bracha, a mokim she'em machnisim bechometz, then it's a bracha l'matah. So you see clearly how the getting rid of the chometz is a reality in itself. Even though ultimately what you're trying to accomplish is that there should not be any chometz. This is the fundamental. This is the phenomenal union of chokhmah, that it brings the oyer insoif b'pnimius into the koiches.
When you said all aspects of chokhmah, do you mean all koiches within chokhmah?
Yeah.
Chesed v'chokhmah, Rosh v'chokhmah. I mean, this
chokhmah is saying chokhmah has everything. Everything that follows in human activity is a derivative of its presence in chokhmah.
So before it actually comes to the koyach, there's the koyach, that specific koyach within chokhmah that has that essence sense.
Can I just clarify? I got confused in this from yesterday with all this notion of earning money or having money. That mitzat chokhmah, if you have to earn money, I understand how it's meaningful. Chokhmah provides for each step of the way that you need to make to get there. But if you just like you yoirish it or you won a lottery, it doesn't the having money by means of that is not any less significant. Mitzat chokhmah also.
It is less significant.
It is?
Yeah.
So I don't get that.
We demonstrated many times that a person who did not earn the money does not appreciate having money. He doesn't know, he doesn't have an appreciation of what it means to have money. He only knows one thing, that he does not have money. That's his appreciation of money. Doesn't know what to do with it. It has no significance. He has never been without, and he doesn't know what it means to be without. But what it means in a positive sense, he doesn't have no idea.
Does it have to be this way? We had this whole thing about Shabbos, how you. I'm sorry, maybe I'm going in circles, but we had this whole thing about inheriting Eretz soil. Like Yoina was asking, about you get stuff from the Eibishter, so you get stuff from the Eibishter, so it's maybe it's because you're not a Chochem. That's why you're not.
If he is a Chochem and you realize that this is a gift from the Eibishter, then yes. But that is not in the world context. That's not what happens.
Right.
If he appreciates, yes, of course. That this is a gift from the Eibishter, then he can definitely recognize a full value of it. But from a worldly perspective, it doesn't have that value. All right, so we are on the line that starts with Od B'Chochma, B'Bchinas Pnimius. Okay, at the end of that line, Ve'alidei HaChochma Nimshach V'Mislabesh V'Chol Prote HaMadriga Atzilus. Via the Chochma, it is then further Nimshach, it is drawn, and it's Mislabesh, it actually is imbued in all the various Prote Madrigas and Atzilus. And in each one it's Mislabesh, B'Pnimus. And I want to repeat this one phrase, which is extremely important. Mislabesh B'Pnimus means that everything has a positive significance, not just a negative. In other words, not just it's not that I don't have, I have. Same thing in chesed. When you do a chesed, you want to do a chesed, not you can't stand when something missing with somebody. Minu atzilus, and then from the atzilus, nimshach tainug gab b'madrega shebibiyah. Then this tainug is drawn also in the madrega shebibiyah. And thusly, we have ultimately, even in Biyah, even all the way down here, we have the Inyan HaTainug the way it is in Eirei Seif. And this is why, just as an aside, a parenthetical comment, this is why every activity right here on our world, which is so momentary, has great significance. You want to go back for the moment. Has great significance. The halacha is that when you give tzedakah, the Rebbe says in Tanya, the halacha in Rambam, when you give tzedakah, it is significant the number of times that you give, even though the sach hakoil is the same. Even the total amount that you're giving is the same. To give it in multiple gifts is significant. Because the giving is significant. V'hinei Yehoes esfira z'atzilus, hein b'bchinas mekoydim gluyim lehizhavu shebebiyah. The esfira z'atzilus, in Atzilus, they qualify, they have this element that they are mokir golui. Mokir golui means an identifiable mokir for his hava shebiyah. Atzilus is called a Mokir Biyah because Atzilus is, as we mentioned many times, that Atzilus is a world, but it's not really a world in the common sense of the word as a creation, as a Metzias outside of Elokus. It is part and parcel of Elokus. Atzilus is what's called Olam Ha'eliki. And therefore, in a very real sense, in what sense that's Atzilus? A world, not in its own sense. In its own sense, it doesn't sense itself as a world. It is it's fully permeated with Elokus, and it's only Elokus. But it's a world in the sense that it's a mokiv le'ezavis l'biyah.
Shariah, this is particularly assigned to the word lehisavus, to biyah, that and not particularly to Atzilus, or could it go on both?
No, Atzilus is not called Isharis. Sharei ho'es esfireis. Why do we say that they are mokir golus, mokirim gluyim? Sharei ho'es esfireis. Since that the es esfireis, the 10 spheres of Atzilus, hein bechinas hagilui doinesoi baruch. They represent the gili aspect of Ein Sof. Shezeh inyan ho Atzilus kanal. This is the principle of Atzilus, to bring Ein Sof in gili. Ukemaimer, and as it says, then in Zehar, and who the apikas asarti kuni, that you brought forth. This is a quote from Pasuk Eliyahu. Ant means you. Who the apikas asarti kuni, you the one who brought forth apikas. You brought forth asarti kunin, 10 tikunin. 10 tikunin refers to the 10 spheres. V'hein al derech moshol, and these 10 tikunim, the 10 spheres, al derech moshol, they in the moshol realm, in the practical realm, in our experiential realm, they are corresponding to koiches hagluim shebenefesh, to the koiches hagluim, to the revealed koiches in the nefesh, shepoyalim begilish. What's mean koiches gluim? Koiches gluim means that poyalim begilui, they act and they affect begilui in a revealed and in a functioning manner. We will refer back to this after we'll see what the Rebbe is trying to tell you, the contrast. V'yodua, it is known, sheyesh koiches hane'elomim b'nefesh, there are koiches hane'elomim, there are concealed koiches in the nefesh. Shemehem nimshochim ha-koiches hagluyim, from which the koiches gluyim are drawn. What is this Inyan koiches ne'elomim? Before we go into this inside. If they're koiches ne'elomim, a koyach means a functional ability. If it's koyach ne'elom, a koyach, if it's ne'elam, if it's concealed koyach, what qualifies it to be called a koyach? And what do you need is koyach? Koyach, the word koyach, as we emphasized here lately, means the ability to act. And like it says in there, poyalim, shepoyalim begil. And yet we say that these koyches that are poyalim begilui, they have a root. They are megala. The koiches hane'elomim the way they're in nefesh. Just to as a first step to get a sense what it means koiches gluim and koiches ne'alom. We should now be able to actually relate to it quite clearly. The one important aspect that we identified in this whole discussion of the fact that all the koiches come through Chochmah, and all the spheres come to Chochmah, and then everything else that goes below is all due to the influence of to it being contained in Chochmah. And we pointed out that has an overwhelming influence. It retranslates. It gives a new perspective of what the koiches are. Because if you look at the koiches bechitzonius, from the way we observe koiches in the world, they are all koiches are functions to eliminate negativity. I'm learning, so that I'm not going to say that I don't know. I'm walking, so I'm not where I want to be. I'm working, so that I'm not having money. This is the way things are perceived in the world. This means koiches gluim. So if we were to perceive koiches gluim on the golui level exclusively, then this is what it would have. It would always be a response to some kind of a shortage, kind of a lack. It doesn't have a real chayes, real oinag. What does oinag have to do with anything? I'd rather not do it, not have to do it. I do it because I have to. The way koiches ne'alom, they are there ben hela in the nefesh. Clearly, they are not a response to any kind of a shortage, to a lack. The ability to learn, for example, the nefesh doesn't have to learn. The nefesh is a likim. The ability to learn is significant in the nefesh itself. Chochmah and Bina and Das. While the nefesh itself has that which is deeper than Chochmah and Bina itself.
Is this to say koiches ne'alamim are the foundations for koiches gilui?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but you're missing one word. Are the positive foundations for the koiches gilui?
Right. That they're not based on any external needs.
That's
They have an
important.
inner foundation, inner positive foundation.
They're positive foundations. This is what makes koiches gilui real koiches.
This is essentially what you said about all aspects of Chochmah, and this is what it's referring to. And it's when the sense of the etzem is distributed through all aspects of Chochmah. Essentially, we're talking about the koiches ne'alamim.
Chochmah is already gluim. Koiches ne'alamim refers to the way it is in the nefesh itself. Before Chochmah. Chochmah does not invent, so to speak, the koiches. Except in Chochmah it is beginning. relative to the way it is in Nefesh, it's begin. In the Nefesh, there's Koiches HaNe'elam. Chochmah itself exists in the Nefesh, in the Ne'elam state. All right, so we're first touching on this in just the one Nakuda that clearly denotes the Kochas HaGluim versus Kochas HaNe'elam. Kochas HaGluim are also, as they said, real Kochas, only positive. But the positivity in the Kochas HaGluim is due to their source in the Kochas HaNe'elam, and due to the fact that they go through the Choch. Otherwise, B'chitzonis, they don't have a real significance. Kochas HaNe'elam are significant in and of themselves. With this, we will conclude today's session, and we should continue tomorrow morning. Have a good day on the line. Hope.
What did you want to emphasize by saying Chochmah itself is Ne'elam?
Because he asked the question. Chochmah contains, so forth. I said the Chochmah itself is also present on the Ne'elam level.
Otherwise, you could think that the whole process of Chochmah is also coming from a lack. There's no sense of reality, therefore you need to. So here, it's even the Chochmah itself is a positive.
Is that the conclusion? What you just said?
Is that the conclusion?
Is that the clarification? Does that express what Chochmah Ne'elam?
Chochmah Ne'elam, we didn't speak about Ne'elam yet. Just pointed out that all the koiches are there behel Ne'elam.